The massive alien fleet appeared at the edge of the solar system without warning. One moment there was empty space. The next moment hundreds of ships blocked out the stars. Each vessel was larger than any human had ever built, their dark hulls covered in strange symbols that glowed with an eerie blue light. Commander Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the USS Texas, watching the sensor displays with growing concern. He had been running routine patrols near Jupiter when the alarms started screaming. Now his hands gripped the command chair as he processed what he was seeing. "Sir, they're broadcasting on all frequencies," Lieutenant Sam Brooks called out from the communications station. The young officer's voice shook slightly. "Put it through," Jake ordered. The speakers crackled to life. A deep mechanical voice filled the bridge. "People of Earth, we are the Zarvonian Empire. Your planet now belongs to us. Surrender immediately or face destruction." Jake exchanged glances with his first officer, Commander Rita Vasquez. They had trained for many scenarios, but first contact with hostile aliens wasn't one of them. "Get me Earth Command," Jake said. Priority 1. Within minutes, every military installation on Earth was on high alert. In Geneva, Dr. Lisa Chen sat in the United Nations emergency bunker, surrounded by world leaders and military advisors. As Earth's leading xenolinguist, she had spent her career preparing for this moment. "We need to attempt communication," Lisa insisted. "There might be a misunderstanding." General Paul Martinez shook his head. "Doctor, they just claimed our planet. That's pretty clear." "Let me try," Lisa said. She activated the communication system and spoke in what she hoped was a calm voice. "Zarvonian vessels, this is Dr. Lisa Chen representing Earth. We wish to discuss your intentions peacefully." The alien response was immediate. "There is nothing to discuss. You have one Earth. Rotation to surrender. After that, we begin our assault." Before anyone could respond, the communication ended. The room fell silent. "General Martinez," the president said quietly. "What are our options?" Paul stood and walked to the tactical display. "We activate the Sky Shield defense grid. It's still classified, but we've been preparing for something like this." "Will it work?" someone asked. "We're about to find out." 24 hours passed quickly. Cities around the world evacuated their tallest buildings. Military forces moved into position. Hidden missile silos opened. Submarine fleets dove deep. Fighter squadrons took to the skies. Jake Morrison had moved the USS Texas closer to Earth, joining the defensive line forming an orbit. His ship was one of humanity's newest vessels, equipped with experimental weapons that had never been tested in real combat. 10 minutes until their deadline expires, Rita reported. Jake nodded. "All hands, battle stations." The deadline came and went. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the alien fleet began to move. The first attack hit New York City. A brilliant beam of energy shot down from orbit, striking Central Park. The explosion vaporized everything within a mile radius. Similar attacks followed in London, Tokyo, Moscow, and Beijing. But humanity was ready. General Martinez gave the order from his command bunker. "Activate Sky Shield. All units, weapons free." Hidden installations around the world came to life. Massive energy cannons emerged from underground bunkers. Laser satellites activated in orbit. The sky lit up as humanity fired back. The aliens seemed surprised. Their ships, which had approached Earth casually, suddenly began evasive maneuvers. Several smaller vessels exploded as human weapons found their mark. "They didn't expect us to have energy weapons," Jake realized, watching from the Texas. "They thought we were primitive." "Their mistake," Rita said grimly. "Shall we show them what else we have?" Jake smiled. "Target the nearest cruiser. Fire the plasma cannon." The USS Texas shuddered as its main weapon discharged. A bolt of superheated plasma crossed the void and slammed into an alien ship. The enemy vessel's shields flared and failed. Secondary explosions rippled across its hull. Around the world, similar scenes played out. The aliens had expected an easy victory against a primitive species. Instead, they found themselves facing weapons that matched their own. In Geneva, Lisa Chen worked frantically with her team, analyzing intercepted alien communications. "They're confused," she reported. "They keep saying this is impossible." General Martinez allowed himself a small smile. "Good, let them be confused." He turned to his aide. "Launch the counterattack. All units, advance." Thousands of missiles rose from Earth. Not ordinary missiles, but ones equipped with antimatter warheads. Fighter jets engaged alien craft in the atmosphere. Submarine-launched torpedoes targeted alien ships that ventured too low. Danny Rodriguez, a Marine captain, led the first boarding action. His team used a captured alien shuttle to approach a damaged enemy cruiser. They breached the hull and fought their way inside. The aliens, tall beings with 4 arms and pale skin, fell back in disorder. "They're not used to close combat," Danny reported over the radio. "We're taking the ship." By the end of the first day, humanity had destroyed nearly 50 alien vessels. Earth had suffered casualties in the thousands, but the cities still stood. The aliens pulled back to regroup. Jake Morrison watched them retreat on his sensors. "They'll be back," he said, "and they'll be angry." "Let them come," Rita replied. "We'll be ready." As night fell across Earth, people emerged from shelters to see the sky filled with debris from destroyed alien ships. The invasion had begun, but humanity had shown it would not go quietly. In government bunkers around the world, leaders made a historic decision. All nations would share their military technology. Old enemies became allies. Secret weapons were revealed. Humanity united as never before. The aliens had made a fatal error. They had attacked Earth expecting to find helpless prey. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant. And now that giant was very, very angry. 3 days after the first attack, Admiral Susan Baker stood in the command center at NORAD, studying holographic displays of the alien fleet. The Zarvonians had regrouped near Mars, but small scout ships kept probing Earth's defenses. "They're learning our tactics," Susan told her staff. "We need to stay ahead of them." In a laboratory in Seoul, Dr. Kevin Park and his team worked around the clock examining wreckage from destroyed alien ships. They had made a critical discovery. The shield generators use a specific frequency modulation, Kevin explained to the military officials on the video call. "If we can match that frequency and invert it, we can punch through their defenses." "How long to weaponize it?" Admiral Baker asked. "Give me 12 hours. While the scientists worked, Captain Danny Rodriguez led his Marines through the captured alien cruiser. They had taken prisoners, 3 Zarvonian soldiers who now sat in a makeshift brig. "Sir, you need to see this," Sergeant Pete Williams called out. He stood before a tactical display showing the alien fleet positions. "I think I can read their battle plans." Danny studied the alien symbols. After hours aboard the ship, some patterns were becoming clear. "They're planning another assault, but this time they're targeting our infrastructure, power plants, communication hubs." He immediately contacted Admiral Baker with the intelligence. The aliens attacked at dawn. Hundreds of ships descended through the atmosphere, their weapons charging. But this time Earth was ready with Kevin's new weapon modifications. "All units switch to frequency modulation type 7, Admiral Baker ordered. "Fire at will." The first human ship to score a kill was the USS Dallas. Its modified plasma cannon cut straight through an alien battleship's shields. The massive vessel broke apart, scattering debris across the Atlantic Ocean. Around the world, the battle raged. In the skies over Beijing, Chinese pilot Li Wei led his squadron against alien fighters. Over Moscow, Russian forces unveiled their own secret weapons. European forces defended their cities with deadly precision. But the real breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Amy Thompson, a civilian engineer from Detroit, had been studying captured alien technology in her garage. She'd discovered something the military scientists had missed. "Their whole network is vulnerable," she explained in a rushed call to authorities. "I can write a virus that will shut down their communications." Within hours, Amy's virus was uploaded to a captured alien fighter. Marine pilot Maria Garcia volunteered for the dangerous mission to deliver it to the alien command ship. "This is Cobra 1, Maria reported as she approached the enemy fleet. Beginning insertion run. She flew her stolen fighter straight into the heart of the alien formation. The enemy didn't fire. They thought she was one of them. Maria uploaded the virus directly into their command ship systems. The effect was immediate. Alien ships began colliding with each other. Their formations fell apart. Weapons fired randomly or not at all. "Now," Admiral Baker shouted. "All forces attack." The battle became a slaughter. Human forces pressed their advantage, destroying alien ship after alien ship. The Zarvonians tried to retreat, but found their navigation systems corrupted by Amy's virus. Not all the victories were in space. On the ground in South Africa, Colonel Howard Jackson led an armored division against landed alien troops. The Zarvonians had superior weapons but seemed completely unprepared for human battlefield tactics. "They fight like they've never seen real war before," Howard reported. "It's like they expected us to just give up." In Australia, Aboriginal tracker Sam Cooper led special forces teams in hunting down alien infiltrators in the outback. His traditional knowledge combined with modern technology proved devastatingly effective. As the second wave of the invasion collapsed, world leaders convened an emergency session. The question was no longer whether humanity could survive, but what to do next. "We can't just defend," President Martinez of the United States argued. "They'll keep coming." "Agreed," said Premier Chen of China. "We need to take the fight to them." In a secret facility in Nevada, Dr. Alan Foster was already working on that problem. He stood before a massive alien engine salvaged from a destroyed warship. "Their faster-than-light drive is actually quite simple," he explained to his team. "We can replicate this. We can build our own fleet." The decision was unanimous. Humanity would not wait for the next attack. Earth's industrial might pivoted to war production. Factories that once made cars now produced spacecraft weapons. Scientists who studied climate change now worked on alien technology. Captain Jake Morrison was among the first selected for the new space fleet. He stood in the shipyard watching Earth's first true warship take shape. "What are we calling her?" asked Commander Rita Vasquez. "The Revenge," Jake replied. Seemed appropriate. As construction continued, humanity's forces achieved more victories. The moon became a fortress. Mars was reclaimed. The alien base there destroyed. Every battle taught humans more about their enemy. Dr. Lisa Chen led the interrogation of Zarvonian prisoners. She learned their empire spanned dozens of systems. They had conquered many species. None had fought back like humanity. "Why did you attack us?" she asked one prisoner. "Your radio signals," the alien replied. "They showed a primitive species. Easy conquest." "Your mistake," Lisa said coldly. The tide had turned. In just weeks, humanity had gone from near defeat to planning an interstellar offensive. The Zarvonians sent desperate messages to their homeworld, warning of the impossible humans. But their warnings came too late. Earth's first fleet was nearly ready, and humanity had plans not just to defeat the Zarvonians, but to ensure no other species would ever threaten Earth again. As Jake Morrison later told his crew, they thought they found prey. Instead, they found predators. The age of human expansion. Into space was about to begin, and it would be written in the ashes of the Zarvonian Empire. 6 months after the first attack, Colonel Frank Williams stood on the bridge of the captured Zarvonian battleship, now renamed the USS Vengeance. The alien vessel had been completely refitted with human improvements. "All systems ready," reported his executive officer, Major Helen Torres. "The fleet is awaiting your command." Outside the viewports, dozens of similar ships floated in formation. Each one had been taken from the enemy and upgraded with human technology. Earth's engineers had improved the alien designs, making them faster and deadlier. "Begin Operation Retribution," Frank ordered. The human fleet jumped to faster than light speed, heading for the first Zarvonian outpost. They arrived in seconds, weapons already charging. The alien space station didn't stand a chance. Human ships surrounded it and opened fire. Within minutes, the massive structure broke apart. "No survivors," Frank ordered. "They showed us no mercy. We returned the favor." Back in Earth orbit, Space Force pilot Maria Garcia led training exercises for the next generation of fighter pilots. The Battle of Lunar Orbit had made her a hero, but she focused on preparing others for the wars to come. "Remember, their fighters are faster, but less maneuverable," she told her students. "Use that against them. Make them chase you into tight turns." Her lessons were put to use as human forces pushed deeper into enemy territory. Every battle revealed more about Zarvonian weaknesses. On Mars, the aliens attempted to establish a new base. They brought massive construction equipment and thousands of troops. General Susan Morrison led the assault to stop them. "Hit them before they can dig in," she ordered her forces. The battle for Mars lasted 3 days. Human Marines fought in the red dust against desperate alien soldiers. Tank battles raged across ancient canyons. In the end, the aliens retreated once again, leaving their dead behind. Dr. Alan Foster announced a breakthrough after studying the captured alien technology. "We've improved their FTL drives," he told the Joint Chiefs. "Our ships can now jump twice as far as theirs." His team had also developed a new weapon based on alien technology, something they called quantum torpedoes. These weapons could pass through shields and detonate inside enemy ships. "One hit is usually enough," Alan explained. "The quantum explosion tears apart matter at the subatomic level." The first test of the quantum torpedoes came when human forces encountered a Zarvonian battle group near Proxima Centauri. Captain Jake Morrison commanded the lead ship. "Target the command vessel," he ordered. "Fire quantum torpedo." The weapon streaked across space and vanished just before impact, reappearing inside the alien ship. The resulting explosion was spectacular. The massive vessel simply ceased to exist, transformed into expanding clouds of atoms. The other alien ships tried to flee, but human forces hunted them down one by one. Intelligence Officer Kate Johnson worked day and night, decrypting captured alien databases. Finally, she found what Earth's leaders had been searching for. "I have the coordinates," she announced to Admiral Baker. "Their homeworld, their colonies, their industrial bases, everything." The information revealed an empire, spanning 30 star systems. The Zarvonians had conquered a dozen other species, using their resources to fuel further expansion. "They're parasites," Kate reported. "They don't innovate. They steal technology from species they conquer." This explained why human creativity had caught them off guard. They had expected Earth to have only the technology they could detect from our radio signals. They never imagined humans might be hiding advanced weapons or could innovate so quickly under pressure. Admiral Chris Taylor took command of the Human Expeditionary Force, a fleet of over 200 warships. Half were captured alien vessels. Half were new ships built in Earth's orbital shipyards. "Our mission is simple," he told his captains. "We're going to dismantle their empire piece by piece." The expedition began with raids on Zarvonian supply lines. Human ships would appear without warning, destroy cargo vessels and fuel depots, then vanish before the enemy could respond. Navigator Emma Davis plotted courses through uncharted space, using captured star charts. Her calculations allowed human forces to strike where the enemy least expected. "They're getting desperate," Emma reported after the 10th successful raid. "Their communications show panic." The Zarvonians tried to set traps, but human commanders had learned to think like their enemy. Every ambush failed. Every trick was anticipated. Lieutenant Jack Murphy led commando raids on alien research facilities. His teams would board stations, steal technology and data, then destroy everything else. "Found something interesting," Jack reported after one mission. "They were trying to develop new weapons to use against us. Looks like they're scared." Back on Earth, Dr. Peter Chang led a team of scientists studying alien biology. They discovered the Zarvonians had a fatal weakness. Their immune systems never encountered Earth diseases, Peter explained. "We could develop biological weapons that would devastate their population." But Earth's leaders hesitated. Chemical weapons were banned by human law. Then news arrived of a Zarvonian atrocity. They had destroyed a colony of peaceful aliens who had refused to help fight against humanity. "No more restrictions," Admiral Taylor declared. They want to play dirty? We'll show them what humans are capable of. Peter's team created a virus that targeted Zarvonian physiology. It was loaded into special missiles designed to disperse it in planetary atmospheres. As the human fleet pressed deeper into enemy space, they liberated species after species from Zarvonian control. Each freed world joined the alliance against their former masters. Look at this, Emma said, studying her navigation charts. A year ago, we were fighting for survival. Now we're leading a rebellion against a galactic empire. The systematic destruction of Zarvonian infrastructure continued. Space stations fell, shipyards burned. Mining operations were abandoned as human raiders appeared everywhere at once. And then came the message everyone had been waiting for. Intelligence had located the exact position of the Zarvonian homeworld. Admiral Taylor gathered his fleet. Over 300 ships now, many crewed by allies from liberated worlds, all united in their determination to end the Zarvonian threat forever. Set course for their homeworld, Taylor ordered. It's time to finish this. As the fleet prepared for the final assault, messages of support poured in from Earth. All of humanity stood united. The species that had tried to conquer them would soon learn the true meaning of human vengeance. The age of the Zarvonian Empire was about to end. The age of human dominance in the galaxy was about to begin. Fleet Admiral Chris Taylor stood on the bridge of the flagship Retribution, watching the stars stretch into lines as the human fleet jumped through hyperspace. 300 ships carried humanity's vengeance toward the Zarvonian homeworld. Dropping out of FTL in 30 seconds, Navigator Emma Davis announced. Her hands moved steadily over the controls despite the magnitude of what they were about to do. The fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Zarvon system. Ahead lay 12 planets orbiting a yellow star. The fourth planet was their target, the Zarvonian homeworld. Enemy ships detected, Tactical Officer Carl Phillips reported. 200 vessels forming a defensive line. They're throwing everything. They have at us, Taylor observed. Launch all fighters. Begin the hunt. Thousands of human fighters poured from carrier bays. Squadron leader Maria Garcia led the first wave, her voice calm over the communications channel. All wings, form up on me. Remember your training. These bastards started this war. We're going to finish it. The space between the fleets erupted. In violence, plasma bolts and missiles crossed the void. Ships exploded in brilliant flashes, but the humans pressed forward relentlessly. On the assault carrier Vengeance, Lieutenant Jack Murphy prepared his commando teams for boarding operations. Their target was the massive Zarvonian defense station protecting the homeworld. Check your gear, Jack ordered. Once we breach their hull, we move fast, no prisoners. The boarding craft launched under heavy fire. Several were destroyed before reaching their target, but Jack's team made it through. They cut through the station's armor and stormed inside. The fighting was brutal. Zarvonian's defenders fought desperately, but human Marines were better trained and more determined. Room by room, corridor by corridor, they took the station. Charges set, Jack reported 2 hours later. Evacuating now. The defense station exploded just as the last human shuttle cleared the blast radius. Without its protection, the planet's orbital defenses began to crumble. Back on the flagship, Admiral Taylor watched the battle unfold. Status report, he demanded. We've lost 30 ships, came the reply, but enemy losses are over 100. Their fleet is breaking formation. Press the attack. No escape pods, no surrender. Dr. Peter Chang monitored the deployment of his biological weapons from the science vessel Discovery. Special missiles carrying the engineered virus were launched toward military bases on the planet's surface. Virus deployed successfully, he reported. Estimated time to full effect, 12 hours. As the orbital battle raged, human ships systematically destroyed every Zarvonian satellite and space station. Communication arrays were targeted first, cutting the homeworld off from the rest of their empire. They're sending distress signals, Communications Officer Janet Hill reported, begging for help from their colonies. Jam all frequencies, Taylor ordered. No one's coming to save them. The Zarvonian fleet made a final desperate charge. Their remaining ships formed into a wedge and drove straight at the human center. It was exactly what Admiral Taylor had anticipated. "Spring the trap," he commanded. Human ships that had been holding back suddenly accelerated, catching the Zarvonians in a deadly crossfire. Quantum torpedoes tore through enemy vessels. Within minutes, the alien fleet ceased to exist. With space superiority achieved, the bombardment of military targets on the surface began. Kinetic weapons rained down, destroying bases, factories, and command centers. Cities were left untouched for now, but all military infrastructure was systematically eliminated. On the ground, Zarvonian civilians watched in terror as their mighty empire crumbled. Reports of the virus spreading through military ranks caused panic. Soldiers abandoned their posts as the sickness took hold. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission from the planetary government," Janet reported. "They want to discuss terms." Taylor's face hardened. "Put them through." A Zarvonian official appeared on the screen, its four arms trembling. "Please, we surrender. Stop the attack. We will give you anything." "You attacked Earth without provocation," Taylor replied coldly. "You killed thousands of our people. You threatened our extinction. Why should we show mercy?" "We were wrong," the alien pleaded. "We underestimated your species. Please let us survive." Taylor cut the transmission. "Continue the bombardment. Target their power grid next." The systematic destruction continued for 3 days. Every military asset was eliminated. The virus spread through the Zarvonian military, leaving their forces helpless. Industrial centers burned. Transportation networks were severed. Lieutenant Jack Murphy led ground teams to secure research facilities. They found detailed records of every species the Zarvonians had conquered or destroyed. "Sir, you need to see this," Jack called to his superior. They were planning to use Earth as a food source. They saw humans as livestock. The discovery eliminated any remaining hesitation among human forces. The Zarvonians had revealed themselves as monsters who saw other species as resources to exploit. On the 4th day, Admiral Taylor authorized the use of Peter's final weapon, a modified version of the virus that could affect the civilian population. It wouldn't kill them, but it would render them permanently sterile. "Their species ends with this generation," Peter explained as the weapon was deployed. "They'll never threaten anyone again." Across the planet, Zarvonian technology began to fail as human cyber weapons corrupted their systems. Power grids went dark, transportation stopped, communication networks collapsed. Human ships landed at key locations, establishing control zones. The few remaining Zarvonian military units surrendered without fighting, their ranks decimated by disease. Kate Johnson coordinated intelligence gathering from the surface. "We've secured their historical archives," she reported. "Everything they knew about galactic civilization is ours now." The information revealed trade routes, resource locations, and the positions of other spacefaring species. Earth now possessed a roadmap to galactic dominance. As the Zarvonian homeworld fell into chaos, human forces began evacuating scientists and engineers who could be useful. The rest of the population was left to face the consequences of their empire's actions. "Sir, we're detecting ships approaching," Emma Davis reported on the 6th day. "They're not Zarvonian." The newcomers were representatives from species the Zarvonians had previously conquered. They had come to witness the fall of their oppressors. "The humans have done what we could not," their leader transmitted. "We offer our allegiance to Earth." Admiral Taylor accepted their pledge. The alliance against the Zarvonians was becoming something more, the foundation of a new galactic order with humanity at its head. As the fleet prepared to depart the broken world, Taylor sent a final message to Earth. "The Zarvonian homeworld has fallen. Their military is destroyed. Their species is doomed to extinction. The hunt continues. The war was not over. Zarvonian colonies remained scattered across the galaxy, but the outcome was no longer in doubt. Humanity would find them all, and humanity would destroy them all." The message had been sent to the galaxy. Earth was not prey. Earth was the apex predator. 1 year after the fall of the Zarvonian homeworld, the human fleet arrived at their final target. the last colony where Zarvonian forces had gathered, hoping to rebuild their shattered empire. Admiral Chris Taylor studied the tactical display from the bridge of the Retribution. 500 human warships surrounded the small system. There would be no escape this time. "Open a channel to the colony," Taylor ordered. Captain Laura White stepped forward to deliver humanity's ultimatum. Her voice was cold and clear as she spoke to the desperate aliens below. "Zarvonian survivors, you have 1 hour to surrender unconditionally. Disable all weapons, lower all shields, and prepare for occupation. Any resistance will result in immediate annihilation." The response came quickly. "Please, we have civilians here. Children. We surrender. Just let us live." "You showed no mercy to the worlds you conquered," Laura replied. "But humanity is not like you. Surrender, and you may survive. Resist, and you will join the rest of your empire in extinction." The Zarvonians powered down their defenses. Transport ships began landing, carrying human marines to secure the colony. Within hours, the last free Zarvonian settlement was under human control. Commander Steve Harris led the ground occupation force. His troops moved through the colony, cataloging technology and rounding up military personnel. The Zarvonian civilians, huddled in their homes, terrified of their conquerors. "Sir, we found something," a soldier reported. "They were building a new type of warship. Looks like they were planning a counterattack." Steve examined the half-completed vessel. Even in the defeat, the Zarvonians had been plotting revenge. "Destroy it," he ordered, "and search for any other military projects." Back on Earth, Admiral Nancy Brown stood before the United Nations. As commander of Earth's home fleet, she delivered her report to the assembled world leaders. The Zarvonian Empire is no more, she announced. Every colony has been captured or destroyed. Their military is extinct. Their technology belongs to humanity. The threat has been eliminated. Applause filled the chamber. But Nancy wasn't finished. "However, our mission is not complete. During this war, we've learned of other aggressive species in the galaxy, other empires that might threaten Earth. We cannot return to isolation." She activated a holographic display showing the local galactic region. Human-controlled space now extended across dozens of systems. "I propose we establish permanent military bases throughout this sector. Any species that considers attacking Earth must know they face immediate and total destruction." The vote was unanimous. Humanity would maintain its military presence in space, becoming the guardian of this region of the galaxy. Dr. Alan Foster led Earth's scientific expansion into space. His team studied captured alien technology, improving and adapting it for human use. Research stations were established on conquered worlds. "We've made more technological progress in 2 years than in the previous century," Alan reported. Alien archives contain scientific knowledge that would have taken us generations to discover on our own. The conquered alien species, now under human protection, began to flourish. Free from Zarvonian oppression, they developed trade relationships with Earth. Many volunteered to serve in humanity's expanding fleet. On the former Zarvonian homeworld, now renamed Vengeance Prime, General Frank Williams established humanity's main military base outside the solar system. The planet's surviving population lived under strict human supervision. "They're adapting to their new reality," Frank reported. "The younger generation knows they'll never have children of their own. Their species will end with them as we promised." Some human scientists studied the dying Zarvonian civilization, documenting their culture before it vanished forever. Others focused on exploiting their technology and resources for humanity's benefit. 1 year after the war's end, a ceremony was held on Vengeance Prime. Leaders from dozens of alien species gathered to sign the Treaty of Earth Dominion. The document established humanity as the supreme military power in this region of space. "Any attack on Earth or its allies will be considered an attack on all signatories," Admiral Taylor declared as he signed the treaty. "The response will be swift and final." The other species signed without hesitation. They had witnessed what happened to the Zarvonians. None wanted to test human resolve. As humanity's influence expanded, explorer ships pushed into unknown regions. They carried a simple message to any new species they encountered. Earth seeks peaceful relations, but we are prepared for war. Choose wisely. Back on Earth, monuments were built to commemorate the war. The names of those who died in the first Zarvonian attacks were carved in stone, but the monuments also carried a warning. They thought us weak. They were wrong. Dr. Lisa Chen became Earth's first ambassador to the galactic community. She established diplomatic relations with peaceful species, while gathering intelligence on potential threats. We've identified 3 other aggressive empires similar to the Zarvonians, she reported to Earth's leaders. We're monitoring them closely. At the first sign of hostility, we'll strike preemptively. The human military continued to grow. New shipyards produced warships at an astounding rate. Every allied species contributed resources and personnel. Earth's fleet became the most powerful force in the known galaxy. 5 years after the war's end, humanity detected signals from another aggressive empire planning expansion into Earth's sector. This time, there was no debate. Admiral Taylor led a fleet of 1,000 ships in a surprise attack. The enemy empire fell in weeks, its worlds absorbed into humanity's growing domain. The message to the galaxy was clear: threaten Earth at your own peril. On the 10th anniversary of First Contact, humanity had transformed from potential victim to galactic superpower. Earth's influence extended across hundreds of systems. Dozens of species lived under human protection. Former enemies now served alongside humans in the fleet. Technology that once seemed like magic had become commonplace. Children born after the war grew up knowing humanity's dominant position in the galaxy, but Earth's leaders never forgot the lesson of the Zarvonians. Military readiness remained the highest priority. New weapons were constantly developed. Intelligence networks monitored every corner of known space. "We will never again be caught unprepared," became humanity's motto. As for the Zarvonians, their fate served as a warning to all who might threaten Earth. Their homeworld remained under human control, its declining population a testament to the price of underestimating humanity. Some alien species whispered that humans had become as ruthless as the empire they destroyed. But most understood the truth. Humanity had simply adapted to survive in a hostile universe. The last Zarvonian died exactly 50 years after their empire first attacked Earth. With their extinction, one chapter of galactic history ended. But humanity's story among the stars had just begun. In the depths of space, Earth's warships patrolled endlessly. Their crews remained vigilant, knowing that somewhere in the vast universe, other threats might emerge. But now they were ready. The predators had become the apex predators, and the galaxy would never be the same. The age of human dominion had arrived,